You've been waiting nearly 13 years, but the podcast has gone the distance. We have launched our podcast merchandise store, www.aashop.info. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, and more, nearly at cost, because we want you to spread the word, not empty your pockets. So help spread the word that you're an anime addict and get yourself some Anime Addicts merch over at www.aashop.info. That's www.aashop.info.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at aaapodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Whoa! Welcome into episode 659 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. It's been 13 years. Our sole mission is still to make your anime addiction worse. I am your host, Mitsugi, and I am joined for what will be pure chaos today. As the guest, we are featuring Pancake today. Pancake, what's up?
About to get drunk, looking at titties.
That's not inaccurate. And we also, and I should say, the host of honor today, she who is being punished of her own volition. She's a little bit masochistic. It's Caroline.
Yes. This was an interesting choice for me. I'm not sure if this will be the best choice for me, but if it's for the listeners, I will watch the Harem Isekai, whatever it's called.
Just be honest. You wanted to watch. You just wanted to look at titties with
porn,
your buddy
not
Pancake. Come on.
Roxanne is pretty hot. All right, and we also have Mason, not to be left out. He's wearing a Dr. Slump shirt and looks unbelievably jacked. Man meat for miles. Mason, what's up? Yeah, yes.
Not much. I was timing how long it would take to get to the first titty uttered in the episode, and we're like sub 10 seconds. So we gotta love those odds. We're gonna have a titty per minute average of a generous KD ratio. A TD ratio, if you will, of at least 1.5, because that's all we're going to talk about this episode.
And your mom's watching. This is the best episode for you to watch, Betsy.
Yes,
yeah, really.
And I was told earlier that my mother has COVID right now, and I was told she's fine, but she's also high on edibles. So yes, Mom, welcome.
That's my mom.
Mom.
Yes. It turns out that edibles make COVID hurt less. So I'm told by her. Anyway,
Edibles make everything hurt
we're
less.
not getting away from this. I have a mom tangent to go on.
Oh,
because I need to make a correction from last week's Best of 2022 episode.
Oh,
in the worst anime, the third place I had announced was the "Do You Love Your Mom" and her 2-hit multi-target attacks, which left Caroline befuddled on how that one of the worst of 2022 when it in fact came out in 2019. That is my bad, because I realized in the results a lot of people just wrote stepmom show or something. And they didn't say the whole thing.
Yeah,
so I was like, what is this
daughter
show?
Is my ex. That
my
one.
stepmom's daughter is my ex. And I was just like, what's the name of this mom show? Oh yeah, I remember that one being bad. That's probably what they said. Nope, it was the third place worst anime of 2022 is My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex. That's my fault. Both shows still terrible. Still really bad. But there you go. I had to right my wrongs and welcome mothers abound to this dumpster fire of a show we have for you today.
Yes, Mommy.
Wow. All right.
To eat a jelly bean.
She's crazy.
I think that's worth one.
Wow, okay. Well, guys, since we are going to be...
And I think the mention of Harem Isekai deserves one as well, because I technically have not seen that one just yet.
So as I remind you that this is an episode of pure chaos, and Caroline is going way outside of her comfort zone for all of you today. That's a great time to let you know how you can support the podcast. Amazon affiliates. We are on Amazon affiliates. If you go to supporttheaddicts.com, you scroll down a little, click the Amazon link. Anything you buy on Amazon within 24 hours of clicking that link gets the podcast a royalty. That means you literally take money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket and give it to us, which is like a huge win. So supporttheaddicts.com, bookmark it on your phone. Whenever you buy something on Amazon, you should always be going to supporttheaddicts.com first. Also, you can go to aaapodcast.com/join or Patreon to subscribe to all of our fun stuff we got going on. And hey, we're on Twitch right now. We are on twitch.tv/AAA podcast live Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, so don't forget about that, of course. And we are also on our Discord, aaadiscord.com. We'll take you straight to the Discord. We're also on all of your social medias, the Twitters, the TikToks, the Facebooks, the what have yous. But what are we watching on this episode today? Caroline is going to she's going to make amends for missing the Harem Isekai review by watching an episode, the last episode, I should say, of the Harem Isekai show, fully uncensored, just for you. So we are going to be putting Pancake and Caroline both through the ringer.
I have a question. So if it's fully uncensored, does that mean there's pussy or...
There is no pussy.
Okay, so fully uncensored just means titties.
Yes, correct.
Got it.
And I should also take this opportunity to say that this episode will be more explicit than most. If you have an extreme aversion to bad language or sexual content, this is not really our normal brand of episode, first of all. And second of all, you should probably skip ahead maybe half an hour, 45 minutes in the podcast, so you can still catch the Bocchi review of Bocchi the Rock.
This is what a combination that we have here. We have almost porn, and then we have Bocchi the Rock.
It's definitely
Moe
porn.
Girl Central.
Well, so if you want to listen to the Bocchi review, you can skip ahead to that just after the news break. Otherwise, we're going to be jumping right in here. Everybody ready for big news? Although there's not a whole lot of it.
I am ready for the smallest news ever.
Smallest news of the week.
大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
I got nothing. Caroline's got nothing. Mason, what do you got?
What do you got?
It sounds like that scene from Spaceballs when they're like, comb the desert, find anime news. And you guys are like, we ain't found shit. I haven't found much. I have a Twitter post from the Jacksonville Jaguars that has a Attack on Titan inspired photo in preparation for their game against the Tennessee Titans. They have their quarterback staring up at a giant Titanized version of a true Titan and Derrick Henry. Because they're playing the Titans and they call Attack on Titan, but they won their game, damn it. So I guess it paid off. There's not much to this. It's not the first time we've seen anime in U.S. professional sports or even the NFL. Back in 2022 at the announcement of their game schedule, the Los Angeles Chargers had a little promo video with a bunch of anime references, and it's well known that a lot of players in the NFL, Jamal Williams comes to mind, the Detroit running back, who's often like, yeah, I love anime, I watch anime. Like in their press conferences, they'll be like, can you please stop talking about this so I can go play Pokemon? It's pretty awesome. So does this mean anything? Does this change anything? No, but it is just nice to see anime get some love in mass media, and it's cool. It makes me happy. And that's all I got.
It makes me happy as well. Although my New England Patriots did not make the playoffs.
Did not
this year,
win
so.
today.
Chokeaholics.
They suck dick.
They don't suck as much as your dad's Chicago Bears and Mason's as well. So
we don't need to.
Ooh.
We don't need to
Listen,
be so hateful.
listen.
Why can't you go there?
Listen. When your wife talks shit, sometimes you just got to talk shit back. I'm sorry that your Chicago Bears were a collateral damage there, but sometimes that's what happens.
They didn't make the playoffs just as much as the Patriots did. Anyway,
right.
Moving on to
so Caroline versus Harem Isekai featuring Pancake. So again, this is going to have sexual content for sure. I'm posting a link on the Twitch. If you are on Twitch, I have posted links now. The website is not safe for work. So make sure your grandparents aren't around, or make sure you're not at work before you click the link. But you can watch the Harem Isekai anime with us. Caroline missed the Harem and the Labyrinth of Another World review a few weeks ago, and since Caroline is a woman of the people, she has opted to watch the fully uncensored episode. Why I picked the finale episode because it has the most sex in it. In order to sate the bloodlust of our listeners. Not only that, we're going to be doing a drinking game for you today. So, and we know that little children, they love nothing more than drinking. So if I can find the drop with the little kids. There they go. They're underage, but they still love it. Oh, yeah. So I am drinking a black cherry monster today with probably 2 shots of Bacardi in it. So I got a little black pearl here. I'm calling it the black pearl.
I poured a bunch of shit in this cup, and I'm going to drink it. It's got 2 kinds of rum and juice and pineapple and cherries.
Caroline, I'm going to pour more Bacardi into my cup. Anyway, so...
And I just cracked open an Angry Orchard. Baked
I don't do the
apple
beer
pie
thing.
flavor.
I could be very drunk here by the end of this. So, you will hear some drinks clanking, I'm sure. Here are the rules for the drinking game. I have not vetted them.
Great.
So,
Sounds wonderful.
you might die during this episode. I might die. So,
I only have 2 drinks, so if anything, that's my limit is 2 Angry Orchards.
you will take a sip. For those of you listening, make note. You will take a sip when the name Roxanne or Sherry is said in the subtitles. Those are the names of the two girls. When Roxanne's tail is shown, and I will say alternate camera angles do count. If it's the same scene with different camera angles, you will drink again. Or when attention is brought to Roxanne's breasts in general. So,
Wait, what does that mean?
when they're
Like
just
when they zoom in on
when
a nip?
when her tits are lewdly displayed.
Okay,
know.
what is lewdly displayed?
You'll know it when you see it.
When they're stacked up?
It's up to your discretion, I suppose.
That little gremlin face.
All right, so you're sipping when Roxanne or Sherry are said, when you see Roxanne's tail, or there is attention brought to Roxanne's breasts. You will take a full drink, when nipples are seen, and again, camera angle changes do count as a second drink, or Roxanne or Sherry say thank you to Michio. Finally,
There's a lot to remember.
well,
Arigato!
Don't worry, I will be policing this. This is government-mandated drinking, and
Good
I will
Lord,
have a heavy...
I'm glad that you will be paying attention then, Mason. Just let us know what we got to do.
for people for people that are on the Twitch, I suppose I can probably cut out the rules here and put them up as an image for you to make it easy. But I will also say that there is a final rule, and the final rule is that when Michio finishes, you will finish your drink.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm not doing that on
So
camera.
when Michio, blows his load, you will drink the whole drink. So that's the final rule. And I will actually put these up on Twitch as an image for you, so you can follow along with the rules. So I posted the link up. Does everybody have the link on hand?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna bring up the video, and I guess Mason's gonna police it. So here we go. So I'm going to count us down, and we're going to get started here. I'm having trouble juggling. I'm juggling like 12 pieces of technology here at once. It's very frustrating. So here we go.
We'll be seeing some more juggling in this episode.
Juggling and jiggling in all the right places.
Yes.
All right, I got to get the audio right. All right, so here we go.
All right, so when do we start?
I just started. Oh, yeah, I never counted.
Oh,
Yeah, you need to count us down.
All right, ready? I'm going to count us down. 3, 2, 1, and play. This is episode 12 of Harem and the Isekai of Another World.
He said Sherry.
Oh, you said Sherry, take a drink.
Do you want any background to this show at all, Caroline?
Frankly, I don't think I need it. But for
You don't
whatever
need it.
reason,
It's
the
just about
volume's
boobs.
not working here. Like, I can't hear
I will-
anything.
I'll give you some backstory. So basically, this anime is about a high school student named Michio who attempts to start a strange online game that he found on the internet. Instead, he gets transported to a rural village in the game world. So it's an isekai. And basically, he spends the first 3 episodes raising enough money to buy a slave girl named Roxanne so he can fuck her, which he does many times. In episode 11, he decides his party's not big enough to take on. There's her tail right now, so take another sip. The tail might be a bad call. There's her tail again.
Yeah.
So just if her tail's there?
Just a sip. Just a sip.
So essentially, if they show her,
So,
So we've got a really big busty lady, and then an underdeveloped child.
So in the 11th episode, he decides his party's not large enough to take on dangerous monsters, so he buys a second slave girl who is a dwarf girl.
Is her
named Sherry.
clothing made out of rubber? Why is it shiny?
They said Sherry, and there are the tits.
Oh dear God. What the fuck?
She's so
Right, that is not how titties work.
So Roxanne's playing. She's playing with her titties because they're having. All right, so I'm gonna let the intro play here.
We have to
Actually,
we have
one
to
of the
think
few
if
good moments
Roxanne
of
is
the
dead,
show.
right?
I'm sorry.
Yes, either name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to drink it.
So basically,
Wait, does the opening count? Because we got to drink again.
No, we're gonna mercifully not.
I don't have enough
include
to
the
drink
opening.
for this. Apparently.
I've already
I'm just gonna give you
drank
some-
like a quarter.
I'm just going to give you some more context here. So, in this anime, he gets Roxanne in episode 3 or 4, and then he gets Sherry in episode 11, and Roxanne is immediately jealous because now there's a second girl entering the picture that he's also going to sleep with, so you can imagine a lot of jealousy is going to pop up there. So, she's like taunting Sherry with how large her breasts are because Sherry has nothing, which is why she's like mischievously tossing her titties around in her hands because she's like basically saying, I am the superior one.
I just don't understand why boobs in anime are the equivalent to water balloons. Like, is this like some 40-year-old virgins making these?
Oh my
Well,
God, but
I don't have the answer.
Where she
Yes.
lands in the OP with her butt inches away from the camera, like, yeah. what you can do
and
about
all
it?
of its shiny fabric apparently. It's her clothing is all made of rubber.
There, I have posted the links, the rules up on the Twitch, so now you can play along, enjoy yourselves. Don't drink and drive.
And if you are deeply invested in a thorough review
here
of
we
the
go.
show, you can find it on episode 656.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering at what time we are at the moment, it is precisely 3:12.
The opening just
You can
ended.
catch up with us.
Roxanne, they said her name.
Ah,
So they're up. Okay, so they're gonna be. They're heading to the labyrinth, and they want to bring Sherry with them. And I mean, pretty much, I don't know. This anime, it could have been better than it was.
That stew was just as unrealistic as their anatomy. That's really the true crime here.
Yep.
I find Sherry's anatomy realistic.
No,
Her little
No.
girlness isn't realistic.
for a 12-year-old.
Well, I mean, she's a, I don't know, dwarf. She's
I don't think
factually
we
a
come to
dwarf.
anime for realism, to be honest.
I mean, yeah,
We
So-
come for all sorts of other reasons.
they're basically making small talk about the labyrinth and why or why not Sherry needs shoes, and she's surprised that he's gonna give her a pair of shoes.
Why does she not think shoes are a requirement?
Oh,
They said Sherry.
okay, I said Sherry.
Mason, you're not doing very good believing.
I saw she got it. I didn't need to be.
I
I
only
don't
said
say
Sherry
sip,
again.
drink
I
every
said
single
Sherry
time.
again.
It's only if I think you guys don't get away with it.
All right, boy, this is gonna get bad real quick.
Yeah, I need some more alcohol.
Oh wow, someone's gonna be asleep.
Somebody's not driving and taking a bubble bath after this.
Wow, I'm playing 2 Point Campus because it's a welcome, easy play compared to Nier Automata. So, in this anime, they basically go back and forth to this labyrinth because the labyrinth is essentially the source of money and leveling up. And so, if you're not in the dungeon, you're both poor, pretty much, and weak.
And
So
by
they're-
labyrinth, we mean a farming simulator because there is no, well, not like farming for currency, because there is no maze. It's just a corridor where they pop
Yeah.
creatures
It's really
on the head.
disappointing.
It's so bad.
Yeah, the
Don't talk
labyrinth.
shit on farming sims. I love farming sims.
Evil sheep. That's what they're doing. They're fighting evil sheep now. Oh, they said Sherry's name.
Damn it.
I noticed they say Sherry's name a lot, but not so much Roxanne.
Maybe Sherry's easier to say
Well,
than
yeah, maybe.
Roxanne.
She is.
They have that unspoken chemistry at this point.
How do you feel about that, Pancake? They just murdered 2 sheep.
That wasn't very friendly.
So Sherry's like enamored with Roxanne's fighting skills.
So they did just show her tail. If you guys.
Oh, they
wanna
did.
take a
They showed her tail. Again, two times.
Wait, who came up with this rule? It's silly.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
I think my girlfriend did. You can thank her.
It's just sips. You're supposed to be taking like a tiny drink. I'm drinking liquor.
I just don't want to run out of things to drink before the episode's even done.
Every sip I take is like 4 sips for you.
Can we get Caroline
Tail.
one of those helmets with
There's
like
a tail.
the beer in each side of it, so she can
I
just...
would love one.
Tail, and they said Sherry's name. 2 sips. Does the teleport spell allow you to...
I'm focusing on what they say in the subtitles.
So Sherry's
I don't even know what's happening.
Well, Sherry's
all
asking...
you need to know that there's a tail on screen right now.
I guess there is.
Frick.
Tail.
You're right. I mean, I should just keep this drink in my hand, to be honest.
Don't worry. When they're submerged in water, giving Michio a blowjob later, you won't see her tail. Just
Thank God for that.
just nipples. So Michio's level 33, and Sherry was asking Michio if his teleportation skill allows them to travel anywhere in the world or just back and forth to the labyrinth. It's just story, like world building stuff. This anime,
it's a good episode when you go back to check the Twitch chat and you have to allow a couple terms because they're too lewd for the Twitch filter, and you're like, yeah, it's fair. We're talking about it. Accept it. That's how you know it's one of those episodes. They said their name, by the way.
Sherry.
Oh, they said Sherry. This anime could have been really good because it started out good, but everything after episode 3 was, well, just pretty much porn, I guess.
I love how just
Was that Sherry again?
Why is this such a good rule?
Well, I think it's because in Japanese they tend to say their names a lot instead of just saying you. So if you pay attention, they'll refer to people directly by their name.
They refer to themselves by name as well, or sometimes anyway.
So he's up. They said Sherry.
Fucking Christ.
So he's gonna serve Sherry second, but Roxanne is pissed because she was the first slave girl, and so she thinks that she deserves to get everything first, including the sex. So now
you know it's
pissed.
a funny scene because the music is funny. That's how you know.
God,
Thank you. We need a drink.
Thanking is a full drink.
Oh, Sherry.
I'm not a drinker. I don't drink.
You do now. Come on, you get maraschino juice in there, pineapples, fruit juice. What, having massive titties in your face?
Expressive boobs in
No, she said thank you, but in general, not just.
No,
we'll let that one go.
Thank you for the food doesn't count.
I've already pounded most of this drink, and we're like 4 minutes in, and this drink has 3 shots in it.
I'm gonna die or vomit.
You know, we used to do these episodes like years ago, and I wouldn't drink at all because I wasn't drinking back then, and now it's like, give me the rum.
Oh my gosh.
Give me the rum. Of course, I used to have.
Back when I was not on the show, like years ago, I would listen to the drinking episodes, and I would drink alongside just by myself, and I was having a blast.
I'm glad. I think that's the point.
That's good. That's the whole point.
That's the point.
But there I was just laying on my couch drinking Fireball and Coke. And
that's what I wanted to do.
Oh, see, Pancake was like, let's get cinnamon whiskey, and I was like, come on, that's such a chick drink. Fireball. Listen, I would have bought the Fireball if you had asked. If she had wanted the Fireball, I would have bought it.
I did. I'm regretting the rum already. I'm already feeling it.
Yeah. Well, Fireball's not that. I mean, Fireball would just make you puke. Oh, we could have had nipples right there. If you take like 6 shots of Fireball, you're gonna feel so sick. It's got so much sugar in it.
Dude, we did that once when I was 17 at a family house party. It was crazy.
Okay, are you ready?
Tail.
Oh, there's a tail.
I can't help but keep multiple slaves. I don't understand why that can't be helped.
It's literally, in the show's defense, they say, oh, it's the human nature is you can't not have all the slaves.
Are you ready, Caroline?
Oh,
because he just said the 3 of us are finally bathing together. I can't imagine what it's like to bathe the 2 women who were just there for me.
Technically, we did see Mickey's nipples, so you need 2 sips.
The girls are undressing. 2 sips. They said Sherry again. 3 sips.
Sherry.
Roxanne.
They said Roxanne. Sips. Roxanne's are so big.
God damn it.
Oh, man. They're very beautiful, even if they're small. He's like, I'm getting a boner just listening to them talk. This bathtub of his is so ridiculous. It takes him like 4 hours to get this bathwater filled and heated. Here come the nipples.
I actually do like that mechanic of the show.
Nipples are...
So much work in.
You like the mechanic of the bath?
Yeah,
Nipples
like that. He
are
has
a
to put
full
in so
drink.
much effort to get it.
Nipples are here. They come. There are the nipples. There are some nipples. Full drink.
Why do they go
And
that way?
tail.
Tail.
Tail's just a sip. Nipples again.
I don't know the difference between a sip and a drink.
It
Here
all
come
blurs
Sherry's
together.
nipples. Nope, no, there's no nipples there. Man, they actually gave Sherry some boobs in that shot. I thought she was supposed to have nothing, but she definitely has something.
I kind of like her boobs better than the big ones.
I mean, Roxanne is. So, up there are some titties.
Oh my god, that's not how they work.
Two titties. Two titties. Three
You said that
titties. Camera angles.
Yeah. So another drink. And you know what, while you're at it, you guys should just drink one for Cosmo, because he
I'm gonna fucking
would
vomit.
excel in this kind of show.
Why did you pick
Titties.
this episode?
Because it's the one that has the most sex in it. This is the one that people wanted. He's he's
my
now
God, her
massaging
face.
Roxanne's
What the
breasts.
fuck?
Oh please, master, please give me the creamy mommy.
Creamy mommy?
Oh yes, give me the creamy mommy. Please
Yeah.
soap up my
This is already
titties.
sweet. Okay, I'm
Why
putting
do
a
they
jelly bean
look-
on reserve for you.
Why do they look like the nipple covers, though? Why do her nipples look
Up there are the Sherry's nipples.
like... Oh my god. I have, like, a bunch of drinks. So I'm
That's
just
a
gonna
very
take a big one.
muscular 12-year-old.
Up there's a
She's
tail.
strong.
Sip. Roxanne. They said Roxanne and a tail.
And boobs.
This feels like pedophilia.
You
This
know,
is too much.
Caroline, after you watch this episode, you can regurgitate that jelly bean you ate earlier for not watching it,
Man,
if you
guys,
want to.
I am in trouble. Is that bottle of Bacardi like
How
like
old is
3/4
she?
done?
No.
How old is she? She's a dwarf. I don't know what her age was. She's old. I think she's.
Probably 100 years old.
Yeah, I think
probably.
she's like. I think Roxanne is young, but I think she is like up.
Oh my
Definitely
God.
nipples. He's definitely
So
playing with
we're
them titties.
13 and a half minutes in, and I think right now everyone else is at the Ralph Wiggins stage of I'm in danger. So that's
Yeah,
what
okay.
I think where we're at.
Roxanne is a million times hotter than Sherry.
And in case you forgot, they did say Sherry in the subtitles.
Oh my god.
God.
I'm gonna run out of drink.
I don't have
Yeah.
much left, and I don't want
This
to
is
make
my
another
second
one.
drink of 2.
Make another one, baby. Now Roxanne is giving a there's a nipple. She's giving a nudu massage to
A what?
Michio. Nudu. It means slippery. So she's covered in soap all over her
Fail.
body, and she's rubbing her whole body on Michio sexually to wash him.
Thank goodness
That's exactly
his
what's
body
look.
is
See,
blocking the
you
tits.
see,
I-
you
this
see,
is
you see,
first
you see how
as
she's
well.
like rubbing her soapiness all over him.
My face exactly.
That's not a
Sherry.
real thing.
What you're watching right now is what would happen at a soap land, basically.
We had. Never mind.
Well,
I feel like we basically
I'm just
need
having.
to
I feel like I'm a few drinks behind, so I'm just gonna have a few drinks.
I just took a big one.
So now they're she's licking him.
That's not how you get clean, honey.
She's trying to have sex.
She's a dog. She's trying her best.
This is Sherry's first time too. Give her some credit, okay? She's trying her best.
I feel bad for Sherry. Her
Look at
first
this.
time's not even like
Look at this.
solo.
Look at this money shot POV right here.
Money shot.
Yeah.
Christ.
I mean, literally, it's like. Oh, there's some titties. Her titties are huge.
Really, that should be 3 drinks considering
God.
everything. But
I mean, I'm running out, Mason.
Shut your
I
mouth.
don't-
You're not even
I'm not
drinking.
even drinking my water at this pace.
I can't.
Man,
I'm gonna
Sherry.
vom.
Give me the liquor.
Drink right from the
Food.
bottle.
Oh, there's a lot left in here. We got a lot of liquor left. Psychoda. I have 2 girls
I'm just feeling
washing
drunk.
me.
I need to sneak
one
a
of them
second.
is basically a prepubescent girl.
You guys only have 10 minutes to go.
Top of the dome. What are you rating this show?
Yeah. What do you think so far?
A 1.
A 1.
This
That's
is
what
not
I
my
gave
cup
it.
of tea.
What did I
it a
give this?
1.
Like a 2.5?
You gave it a 2.
Okay.
Look at his body proportions. That does not look right.
I like
It's a
how
0.
straight he can sit.
Don't
I
worry.
wish I could sit that
Don't-
straight.
Pancake.
That's
I know.
sure.
I know you wanted there to be more girls. At the end of the episode, he will introduce 3 more.
No.
Oh, yes.
Cherry.
Oh, yes.
The legendary Edie Wombo combo.
Oh, what?
Wombo combo, boom, bang.
Men are strange
Now,
creatures.
so they fucked in. Well, they didn't actually fuck in the bath. They were just doing some foreplay, really. But now they're in bed. And so here we go again. So he's about to kiss Sherry, and Roxanne's gonna get pissed. See, there she goes. She's pissed. She don't like it. He goes, shit!
Actually,
I forgot about the
her
order.
only defining
Roxanne
character.
always needs to be first.
That is
How do
the
you forget
dumbest
the
shit.
order?
Since this is going to be, this is what we're gonna do before we sleep. Roxanne's gonna be, since you're number one, you'll be the last one, Roxanne, and she buys it.
Roxanne being jealous here
Thank
is her
you.
only defining character.
All right, she
trait
said
the
thank you,
entire
and
season.
she said thank you, and they said her name.
I think that should count as one.
I took 2 drinks.
I took 2 drinks.
Mason in solidarity is drinking his water.
All right, Sherry's on. Oh no, Roxanne's on top. Here we go. Here we go. Very lewd. Very lewd. So
I
romantic.
know I'm getting drunk because my nose is starting to run.
So romantic. They're about to. Oh, there are the titties. He's banging her.
Oh
Full
my
on sex
god!
now. Here we go. Two,
Oh my
si-
God.
2 titty
Tail.
shots and a tail.
Oh my goodness. Another shot. Another one.
3
Another
shots.
one.
3 titty
Another
shots.
one.
And another. And another.
Oh my god.
Doing it. Now they're doing it. Now they're doing it dog style, which she's pretty much a dog anyway. So that pretty
Why
much.
do her nipples look like that?
Why are they
She's
heart
turned
shaped?
on.
The answer is don't look at me. I don't know the answer.
Oh my god.
She said thank you.
Why does this exist?
Five
Lady
or six-
Emery, you're on my shit list now.
5 or 6 titty shots right there. Why is Lady Emery on?
She
this
came
list?
up with these rules.
No, she didn't. I did.
You did? Because I'm pretty sure these are pretty similar to the ones she
titties.
posted.
Like-
Oh my god.
Little girl
Do you like
titties.
how her head
child.
is twice the
That is
size
a
of her
freaking
torso?
child.
Up. Two drinks. Titties and titties. Just wait
If
until
you ever
Michio
wondered
busts
what
his
a
nut.
hentai episode was like on the AAA podcast, subscribe for content
Yeah.
like this.
AAApodcast.com/join, and you can get content like this twice a month, motherfuckers. AAApodcast.com/join. I got 210 hentai episodes in the bank for you. That's 200 hours of this for $7. I can't even buy a dozen eggs for $7. That's a fact, Jack.
You know, there's a lot of eggs in the hentai episodes too, though, so it's kind of fitting.
Titties, and they're like
Do they count though?
tiny, weird, prepubescent little girl titties, and titties.
It makes me uncomfortable. I'm not drinking to those.
You cheater! You must follow the rules. They are law.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Pick your drink up. Just wait till Michio busts his nut all over this girl, and then you're gonna have to drink the whole drink.
When I stand up, I'm gonna fall over.
When I stand up, I'm gonna vomit. Up there are titties.
And you
Just
said Jerry.
There's so many titties. Just finish your drink. How are we not? Are we taking off Twitch yet?
I mean, we're just saying the T word a lot.
Yeah, but I'm playing this audio on Twitch.
Oh,
At least I think I am. Maybe
we'll
I'm
see
not.
how this. We'll see when I port this over to YouTube how that goes.
It's
My
def-
God.
It'll definitely be in the recording.
Oh, how is this physically happening? She's
Oh,
on the
yeah,
side.
yeah, stuff it. Stuff me, master. Ah, kimochi hiyo, seiki dashite.
Ah, Mitsuki.
Oh, seiki.
Another. Okay, 2 jelly beans
Couple
have been
drinks right
reserved in
there.
your name, Mitsuki. Thank you.
Aikyo no mitayo.
Creamy mommy.
Hey, the episode is almost over. There's nothing
Man.
more that can happen in the next couple minutes to make it
Bullshit.
worse.
I'm
They
so
already did the
drunk.
bath. They already did the big sex scene. That's it. There couldn't possibly.
Will you tuck me
Be
in
anything
on the
worse.
news
This-
break?
This episode is the most insane example of anime wish fulfillment I think might exist.
Pancake, please don't drown in the bathtub.
You ain't even begun yet. There's still 4 minutes.
I ain't going in there.
What?
Good.
I'm gonna get tucked into Betty Bye.
What can happen in 4 minutes?
Hey, Roxanne and Sherry.
Your bedhead is crazy. More like my sex head. What could possibly happen in just the last 3 minutes of this episode?
The final
lot.
episode of the season.
Look
A
how
lot of
tiny her arms are compared to those fucking chamba wambas. Good God.
Roxanne is pretty hot. This girl's bedhead is hilarious. It's like stuck in place.
Her chimichangas are like double stuffed
So
chimichangas.
they just made note that Sherry is like this little girl that just joined him, and she already has the sex maniac title as her on her character class. Yep, they just showed it 4 times. Sex maniac level 1. Come on, one glance of Roxanne's titties, and you are going to be a sex maniac, pretty much.
Do you think they're bi?
See, in any case, now I'm a sex maniac too. Of course you are, bro. You're banging a dog girl with triple G titties and a dwarf girl, and now you're gonna buy 5 more girls. This guy's gonna run out of Aiki. Aiki Doshite!
Which means love fluid.
Aiki literally is the kanji for love and fluid, which means come. Here we go. Here's the cat girl that should have been in the show that never was. What a disappointment. And there are her titties, so drink.
1 sip, 1 drink.
I hope she drops dead. The cat girl is definitely hotter than you, Sherry. Sorry. Kimochi yo.
What does kimochi mean?
Feels good.
Feels good.
Kimochi.
Now for the giant-titted dragon girl.
Oh, there can only be one big goop lady
Oh,
in the harem.
boom.
Oh, God.
Dear fuck.
Ikaga de shoka? Oh, are you enjoying this, master? Oh, sushi saratayo!
Okay, I'm adding another jelly bean to your tab.
You don't even know what I'm saying.
I can tell it's lewd.
I know Dashde is lewd. Kimochi's lewd.
This elf chick is hot. She should have been in the show. It's a huge mistake that this girl wasn't. Why was Sherry chosen? This elf chick is so much hotter than Sherry.
Well, I'm all out of drinks, so.
Oh my god.
We can
look at
all
this.
agree the biggest sin of this show was that it was called a
this
harem,
fucking-
and it didn't happen until the ending.
Yeah. This elf chick is like one small baby step from Deedlit. From Deedlit. How the hell? I don't have any more drink.
Take it
Just
from
finish.
the bottle, bitch.
And he just finished. You have to
I
finish the drink
understand
if it isn't already
I
gone.
can't finish this bottle. I'll die. Roxanne. Yes, master. Sherry.
Sherry,
Yes.
that's another sip.
Maria. Yes, sir. Vesta. Yes, master. Rutina. Yes, master. Come on. I'll do all of you at once.
Vesta is the name of a
Yes,
farmer
master.
in Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. God, fuck me.
That's the end.
Casual
Woo! Is there anybody left on
3.
Twitch? Just 30 people. Okay. Wow. Oh. Oh, man. We drank almost half this bottle of Bacardi. Wow. That's a lot.
I'm so fucked up right now. I'm ready for a nippy nap. I put
You're
way
getting
too...
a shout out for the Harvest Moon supremacy, though.
Oh, dude. I am so into Harvest Moon.
Yeah,
You
Harvest
have
Moon.
no idea. Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. I spent like half my childhood on that shit. And they're remaking it, and I'm so fucking hype. You have no idea.
Oh, she's fucking hype.
Like, I'm
Hype.
about to pre-order that shit right now.
Any game that involves farming, Pancake is so in. She's like, oh, this game. I bought this game. I'm playing this trailer. I'm playing this demo. What is this game? And I go, Pancake, what is this game called? It looks so
I
interesting.
won't tell him.
And she goes, and she won't tell me. And so and so I look up, and so I see character names. So I Google like Switch game, character name so and so, and what is the game called? Harvestella. Yes, of course it would have the word harvest in the fucking title, and it's like the favorite game of the month. Harvestella.
I'm almost done with it. I'm so sad.
All Pancake wants to do is move to like a rural area and just have 10 chickens. That's all she wants. Guys, I'm fucking
Are you going
drunk.
to make
Okay,
that
have you
happen,
seen Silver
Mickey?
Spoon?
Are you going to give her the chickens?
Oh yeah,
Polish chickens.
I will 100% buy a house with at least 3 acres of land so I can give Pancake the chickens and probably maybe a couple horses as she desires.
Yeah, I like to ride horses again. I miss it.
Yes.
Pancake,
'Cause I am-
have you watched
Couple
Silver Spoon yet?
horses. Wow.
I have not.
I'm a good husbando.
Would I
Gotta
like
get
it?
on that. They go to farming college.
Oh,
It's all farming.
fuck.
So
Wait,
technically,
are we
It's
talking
all
about Silver
farming.
Spoon?
Silver Spoon. You talking about Silver? Is it Silver Spoon?
Yeah,
you're
you
talking
love
about?
Silver Spoon.
Have you not seen
He
Silver
raises
Spoon?
a pig for
No.
slaughter.
Are you fucking kidding? How could you not seen Silver Spoon? The whole anime is about they have a whole episode about like eating your livestock that you've fallen in love with because they're like your pets.
Well, I mean, they're like your pets, but they serve a purpose. So the great thing
that's
about
what he learns.
about the food science degree is it's so close to the agricultural degree because it's like under the umbrella that I got to do so much farming shit. It was awesome. I was like, I want to be a farmer.
So I have a question. I have a question for Caroline.
I'm so hot right now.
You're so hot.
Yeah.
You get a jelly bean pancake.
All right, Caroline, I have a question for you. Do you regret not watching 12 episodes of censored Harem Isekai?
Frankly, I don't know if I could have finished that.
Well,
Unlike the main character.
so you had to so you watched the straight up like Pornhub edition of episode 12 of Harem Isekai instead of 12 episodes of fully censored no nudity.
I don't know
do you
how
regret this?
censored that could become because they were very full frontal.
You see nothing. They have these like warning boxes that pop up and you see nothing. So, you
just put up censor bars, that's it?
Like the whole screen would be censored at times. So do you regret having to watch the one uncensored episode rather than watching the 12 episodes of no nudity?
Well, I'm glad that I could skip a week of that. And if this one was a little more with a little more exposure, I can take one episode.
You know
but
what?
The problem is that overall the idea of this show is just disgusting.
Listen, Caroline, I will hold your hand the next time you have to watch a shitty anime with lots of boobies in it. Because I love you and I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for being with me on this journey, Pancake, because it certainly heightened the entertainment value.
You know what's funny?
Of just sitting in a chair and watching something terrible.
I think that like Pancake, I think Caroline is like low key your best friend, and if Caroline ever came to Denver, you guys would go to like the tea house and have the most epic
we were
time
talking
ever.
about that on Discord.
Yeah, I mean like no doubt Caroline and I would get along really well in real life. It's just the fact that I am so unfiltered.
Yeah.
Like I'm a fish tank that's never had a filter.
Oh.
And you just have to get over that.
That smells bad.
Walk in and you either like me or you don't. I think Caroline would like me in person.
I like
and
you.
we'd be best bros.
Because here's the thing. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I feel like we are very similar people, except I'm filtered and you're kind of not.
Yeah, it happens with trauma.
Trauma and farming. That's the Powerpuff Girls of how you get Pancake.
Wow.
the urge to farm and trauma.
Trauma.
I'm not a farmer either. So
where's my fucking
that's
dead grandpa to leave me a farm? That's what I'm really waiting for, guys.
That's a character arc you've been longing for.
Your only chance for a farm is me.
I know, it's so fucking depressing.
You know, it's a shame my dad sold our family farm because that was pretty epic shit. Oh, that's so sad.
I'm so fucking sleepy, guys, and I'm really hot. Why am I so hot?
Okay. Well, hey guys,
we drank a lot today in the last half hour.
before we go to the news break, I want to hear what Caroline's thoughts were about Harem Isekai.
You caught me mid jelly bean chew, so
well,
I'm gonna need a minute.
She thought it was not appropriate. She wishes.
Wait a second.
Listen, I can speak for her. We're like that SpongeBob and Patrick moment when you like lift up the shirt and their heart is like attached. So she thought it was inappropriate. She wished she didn't have to do it. She's happy that she had company.
I just burped fire.
And now she's drunk and she can't drive anywhere.
Caroline is not drunk. What'd you drink? One beer?
Two Angry Orchards.
I drank a third of an entire bottle of Bacardi. Oh, it's good thing I'm bulking.
I can't say that. Okay, well, you're a guy.
True.
And you are bigger than me, so you probably are not going to be as affected as the alcohol as I am.
I'm anemic and I live in Denver.
I have so much blood I have I have so much blood, my doctor tells me I have to donate every 2 months because it's too thick. So I'm still drunk,
in
though.
terms of my thoughts,
Yes, let's hear it.
I have to say this is high art.
Yeah,
only
fuck yeah,
to
it
be
is.
fully appreciated by 1% of the population.
Titties.
This has been the best show I've ever seen. I cannot believe I almost missed it. I'm gonna go straight from the beginning, watch as much as I can, and hope to God there's season 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Masterpiece.
Listen,
10 out of 10.
we should have
Fantastic.
weekly watch parties together, Caroline, to watch the next season.
Yeah, let's do no.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go.
Going to the AAA podcast review history spreadsheet where we keep a log of every score we've ever given, updating Caroline's score to a 5 for Harem
My
Isekai,
only 5
and
out of
we are
5
set.
I've
Yes.
ever given. No, okay. So in full seriousness, that was just terrible, and it made me like okay. Even if I was watching it censored, I would be so uncomfortable by the fact that we had this very childlike person being a bit apprehensive about a man going
so drunk.
down on her, and then we act as if that it's not equivalent to rape.
I'm doing a real life rendition of the Scream or whatever that's called from Salvador Dali.
Yeah,
That's not by Salvador Dali.
Yes,
I
it
don't
is.
believe.
yeah. I don't think it
Yeah,
is.
100% it is.
Is
I'm
it?
looking it up.
He does
100%.
clocks.
100% the
He
Scream
does
is Salvador
clocks
Dali.
and elephants.
It's by Edvard Munch
Yeah, fuck you.
or Monk.
Get your shit straight, bitch.
Bullshit. The Scream. Oh, you're right.
Oh, suck my
We
dick.
can do
You
the
have a dick?
excuse-
This is a huge problem. You have a cock.
Futanari, bitch.
You have a Futanari?
Oh, yeah.
Why haven't you shown me your Futanari yet?
So I asked my dad if he would suck my mom's dick if she had a futanari, and that was the only way to get it to go away, and he said yes.
What is a futanari?
Oh.
Would you like to explain a Futanari, or shall I look up an Urban Dictionary?
A futanari is when you're a lady person and you don't have a pee-pee, and then you can grow a pee-pee, and you have to come to make it go away, pretty much. And my dad said he'd suck my mom's futanari to make it go away.
Random anime girls will have a hoo-hoo. They'll have a hoo-hoo dilly, and then randomly they'll also have a cha-cha. And then the cha-cha will go away.
There's a lot of vocabulary that I have yet to learn.
Well, you
There's
shouldn't
a little
learn
bit
it.
of fan fiction in Pancake's description, but I think you get the.
Mason is
I
well
still
versed.
get it.
Mason, listen, no one has seen more hentai than me and Mason at this point, okay? So we have seen things that human beings are not qualified to view with their eyeballs. In fact, I will say that the Harem Isekai anime is incredibly softcore compared to the shit that's in it.
Softcore.
It's not even close.
Wait, what is
It's-
it? What
this
is
is-
it? That
So
Chili Peppers lyric.
if the hentai speedometer goes from 0 to 100,
Speedometer.
I would say that
Speedometer.
the hentai isekai anime speedometer doesn't pretty much go past like 15 miles an hour, I would say, out of 100. So, I mean, okay, wow. I'm
Thanks,
drunk.
Captain Avatar, for pointing that out, but we got it 5 minutes ago. I appreciate you, and I love you.
Trying his best.
Kisses.
And there's a little bit of a delay.
Oh, I'm drunk
Kisses,
as
booby
fuck.
squeeze,
Wow.
like all that to you, Captain Avatar.
Does anybody else have anything they want to say before I go to the news break?
I love you
I
guys.
did this for
Thanks for
you.
having me on.
This is
You
know
guys
what-
better freaking appreciate me.
Listen, this is for Caroline. Good sport. Caroline didn't want to listen. Caroline didn't want to look at the sex. It's not really her forte, but she did it for you.
Listen.
All the people on the East
Now
Side that were
make
like,
the geek.
"Oh, look at Caroline! Look at Caroline! She doesn't want to watch the hentai. She just want to watch the Harem Isekai show." She fucking watched it. She did the uncensored version. She did more
And
than
I
you did. So
volunteered
fuck
for it,
you.
baby.
Come and hang with me and watch the second half of Sailor and the Seven Balls sometime, Caroline.
God.
You'll like it way better.
You can listen
No,
to Piccolo.
it is way better.
I
It is like a
have hard
shit
time with
post.
this. I don't think it's possible I could have a funner time with.
It's so
Sailor
poorly animated,
Seven Balls.
Caroline, that it's like actually
It's comical.
it's less sexual than what you just
Is it
watched.
like done with MS Paint?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, yeah.
back when Flash was like the thing.
Woo!
Now,
It's like
Missy,
he's
did
drunk.
we have
It's
a
time for my
similar one of
nap.
these things? Should we have a similar one of these things where you watch the first episode of DIY, that show?
Yeah, let's fucking go. Let's
DIY.
go. Let's do it.
I love DIY.
Yeah,
I will do anything for entertainment. To entertain the listeners, I will run around. I will run around in the snow naked.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
That's my pee-pee.
What? I don't even know what that means. On that note,
I don't share pee-pee. Bye.
I don't even know what that means. Okay, guys. Wow, I'm drunk. Here's your intro
No,
trivia question.
I'm gonna read it. Where is it?
It's right here.
Yeah, you do it.
Read it into your microphone, though. Don't fuck it
The
up.
member of the Kesinaku band.
Kesoku.
The member of the Kasoku band and Bocchi the Rock shares surnames with which real-world Japanese rock band?
Good job.
You did that amazingly.
And we'll be back with the answer after the news break. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, this is Mitsugi, and this is your anime news break. Getting us started off with a brand new anime, Zom 100. Very long title. Zombie ni naru made ni shitai hyaku no koto, or translated as Bucket List of the Dead. Interesting title right there. Directed by Kazuki Kawagoe of Komi-san and Komyusho Des from production studio Shogakukan and Sueisha Productions. So a trash-filled apartment, 24-year-old Akira Tendo watches the zombie movie with his lifeless, envious eyes. After spending 3 hard years at an exploitative corporation in Japan, his spirit is broken and he can't even muster the courage to confess his feelings to his beautiful coworker. Then one morning he stumbles upon his landlord eating lunch, which happens to be another tenant. The whole city is swarming with zombies, and even though he's running for his life, Akira has never felt more alive. Coming from Viz Media, zombie show, sounds pretty fun. Looks like a wild anime based on the cover. If you are into this sort of stuff, look out for the Bucket List of the Dead coming out pretty soon. Next up, the very controversial anime Goblin Slayer is getting another season, as we know, and it's also getting a Switch game and a PC game. This was announced at the GAFES 2023 event, which was on this last Thursday. So it looks like if you're a fan of Goblin Slayer, you're going to be getting a ton of new content. So look out for that coming out probably sometime next year, as I know the anime is coming out in 2023. Next up, the light novel Hikikomari Kyuketsuki no Monmon, subtitled as The Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess, which sounds already incredibly stupid, is getting a TV anime in 2023 from director Tatsuma Minamikawa of Fire Force and Studio Project Number 9. So I'm not going to read this entire synopsis, but it's about a shut-in vampire who awakens to find that she's been appointed as the commander of some kind of vampire imperial army. So very cute vampire girl. If you're a fan of these vampire anime with cute girls in it, look out for The Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess coming out, I assume, next year sometime. And finally, lastly in the news, Jun Maeda leaves Twitter once again after apologizing for Heavens Burns Red event writing. In 2020, Jun Maeda, who is behind Canon, Air, Clannad, Angel Beats, etc. from Visual Key Arts, briefly went off Twitter and public life back during the broadcast of The Day I Became a God. He returned with a different Twitter account in May 2021 and began posting regularly about his work, again after the release of his Heaven Burns Red smartphone game in 2022. However, apparently that has come to an end, as Maeda has again deleted his Twitter account as of last Saturday. His final posts addressed criticisms of the game's Seishun whatever Tokidoki game. So, which was, he quoted and retweeted a tweet complaining that the game story had become boring and wrote, quote, "It has become like this. I am sorry for not being good enough." And then he just disappears. So, I don't know what kind of drama in the saga of Jun Maeda, but it looks like he is off Twitter once again. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. And now time to get back to the podcast. Hey, Anime Addicts, it's a brand new year, and your favorite podcast has learned a new trick. We are now Amazon affiliates. You can go to supporttheaddicts.com. Again, that's supporttheaddicts.com. Scroll down a little bit, click our Amazon affiliates link. Anything you buy on Amazon within 24 hours of clicking that link will give the podcast a royalty. You can support the podcast and take a couple bucks out of Amazon pockets at the same time. It's a win-win situation. Again, head over to supporttheaddicts.com. Scroll down and click that link. Be a great anime addict. Be a great fan of the podcast. Happy New Year. Enjoy the show.
You know me? Of course!
Welcome back to the podcast.
I'm Jazzy.
Hopefully you haven't disowned us forever. The members of the Kasoku band and Bocchi the Rock share surnames with which real-world Japanese rock band? Asian Kung Fu Generation!
Oh yeah!
Diraito!
So Jinther in the Discord had to tell me that, and I'm like, shit, you're right! And I was so excited, because I love that band.
It's a very popular band. They've got a lot of album sales, like 5 million
yeah.
or something. It's a lot of albums.
I have like 35 of their songs on my playlist.
Yeah, they're like probably one of Japan's, well, they're definitely probably in the top few of the most popular bands that have ever done anime songs. Okay,
I
guys.
mean, I'm just dying for when they come to the U.S. on a tour, because I need to see them at least once in my life.
All right, guys, here's what's going to happen on the rest of this episode. We're going to do Unexplored Pictures with Mason, which is going to be enlightening as always, because most of these movies I haven't even heard of. And then we're going to do mailbags, one mailbag, and then we're going to do Bocchi the Rock, which we're not going to agree on, so that should be good, although I'm too drunk to fight with anybody, so let's get going with Unexplored Pictures.
You will try your best, I'm sure.
We'll see.
It's going to turn into Bacardi the Rock.
Get
Fair
your
enough.
popcorn ready. It's time for Unexplored Pictures with Mason.
Welcome again to my segment where I talk about movies new and old that I think people need to hear about. This one is a 50-minute long classic from 1978, available on Retro Crush if you happen to have that service. And it is called Ringing Bell. And it is one of the first works done by Sanrio, who you probably know more for Hello Kitty, Gudetama, and Agretzko, as well as Studio Sunrise. And if I had known that Pancake was such into farming, I would have told her to stay on for this one, though it's not quite farming related. So, Ringing Bell tells us the fable-like story of Chirin, this adorable, tumbling, bouncy lamb who's living happily on the farm with his mother and friends. And like in The Lion King, where they stand on the rock and say, "Oh, see the shadows, don't go there, that's bad area," Chirin is warned by his mother to never go outside the fence because there are predators out there, like wolves, who will eat sheep, and we don't want our sheep to die. However, one night, a lone wolf attacks Chirin's home and kills some sheep, including Chirin's mother. Oh no, sad, cry, tears, all that fun stuff.
So sad.
And thus, Chirin's Batman arc begins. He essentially is like, screw this, I'm getting vengeance. And he sets out to confront the wolf, to be trained in the ways of the predator. He's like, being a sheep, being stuck out here with no way to defend ourselves, being these meek, feeble creatures, I cannot abide by this. I will go out there and from the predator who himself killed my mother, learn the ways of savagery and carnage. And the wolf is like, what are you talking about, you pipsqueak nerd? Get out of my face or I'm going to kill you. But Chirin's persistence kind of wins the wolf over, and after a martial arts training montage and series of fights with like snakes and bears, our precious Chirin has grown into a formidable killer ram. Horns, the whole deal. He's just an absolute
A
slaughterhouse.
stud.
Is this not a sheep?
Yeah.
It's no, it's a
Bighorn-
lamb.
Bighorn sheep.
Yeah, so a
Right.
lamb that can turn into a sheep when they're grown up suddenly
Or
turns
maybe it's
into a
it's-
ram?
Isn't a ram just an adult lamb?
I don't fucking know,
No.
but they're delicious.
I thought a lamb
The
was just
sheep.
like a baby sheep.
Yeah, sheep and rams
Hmm.
are different.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm
I
just
don't.
trying to figure out the logic.
I think it's a term of like adolescence for male sheep, right?
Bro, I'm drunk.
Anyway,
I don't fucking know.
it doesn't
man.
matter. He goes around and he kills people, and it's awesome. So this is an
Kills
adaptation.
them.
Well, animals. It's an adaptation of a children's book by Yanase Takashi, who created the Anpanman series, which is a huge deal in Japan. And the movie's pretty sick. It's pretty awesome. The dub, which does exist, is overtalked and explained, and it's not really that good. So I would recommend the sub for quality and atmosphere. This movie is lavishly animated. Everything moves so freaking well. And while it definitely presents as a family film up front, it gets pretty intense, particularly in the second half, with themes of revenge, just the savagery of the food chain and nature, and just the brutal cost of like rising above your nature. So with a runtime of 2 episodes only, this movie doesn't have a lot of time, but it lands the emotional impact. It's just kind of not pleasant because it's gruesome. So Ringing Bell is pretty
Gruesome.
neat. If you have 50 minutes, it's not like gory or bloody, but the
I
turn
can't imagine
from
a lamb that learns
I thought you said this
martial
was
arts.
you said this was a Sanrio. This is a Sanrio.
it is, yeah, Sanrio property.
Sanrio is equals gruesome. Wow.
In this case, it's not. Once again, it's not gory. It's not bloody, but there's a lot of death. It's a lot of darkness, and the way it ends, I'm not going to spoil it. Is it leaves you with an impact that's like, wow, that did not go well for a lot of people. So, Ringing Bell is kind of gets a little ringing endorsement if you have less than an hour to spare, and it's pretty neat.
Cool.
Thank
Say
you.
we get to mailbag.
Let's do that.
Oh my god, mailbags.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime. Anime. Anime.
Mailbag. Wow, I'm fucking drunk.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
I'm a little jazzy myself.
If you want to leave a mailbag, you can go to aapodcast.com/mailbag. It's pretty easy. We got it all set up for you. We want to make everything easy for you. aapodcast/mailbag.
A
Yes.
Hey!
podcast.com.
Caroline, can you please read the mailbag? Because
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
want
I
to
can.
sing that great.
Okay, so this is from Prosomo, who says, "Hello, anime addicts, short-time listener of the podcast, only starting about a year ago. I recently am dealing with burnout of anime, as many times I get disappointed that most of the anime is just the same repetitive formula, churned to tug on the wallets of those who see their new husbandos or waifus. After listening to the podcast as long as I have, I've noticed that I've watched, I noticed shows that I've watched seem similar. Also, sorry, it's not me. I swear, it's the bad writing. I'm sorry, Prosoma. I have noticed shows I have watched that seem similar also sound similar when reviewed. So my question is why and how you stay consistently watching the same content but with a different name. Continue on the great content. Thank you, Prosomo, for writing in. Mitsuki, what do you think?
Alcohol. That's the answer.
Listen, if it wasn't for this podcast, I'd be watching all the OVAs from the late 80s and picking and choosing my anime from current times really very carefully because, they are kind of samey. They are kind of formulaic. But in order to quote-unquote cover anime from the current seasons, you need to watch a fair amount of shows. I mean, you can't... There's like fucking 50 anime a season now. You can't just do 2 or 3. You got to watch a whole bunch of them. So most of the time, I don't really mind watching them, but sometimes the show is just not for me. You know, like not every show is made for every person. So sometimes you run into a show that maybe one of your co-hosts likes that is fine, and it's just not meant for me. We may review one of those later, but yeah, I mean, you gotta sometimes you gotta watch the bad to get the good, and it's part of life. That's a good life lesson for you.
Mason?
Yeah, kind of in the same boat as Mitz. There is a lot of shows that come out, and by nature of being on this podcast, we are obligated to watch them. So it's for you guys. That is why we do it, and I hope you enjoy it. Caroline?
For me, compared to, as I would put it, these two old farts, I haven't watched anime as long as they have.
Mason is not old. I am the only old fart here, okay? I am like a whole decade older than Mason. And we're not even close. Are you even 30?
I am 30, actually. Sad. I know.
Happy
Shit, man. I'm
birthday.
old. I am way the fuck older. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, Pancake is as old. It's like 1 year older than I am. So.
Pancake's like 100 feet away and you're answering her responses? This is crazy.
Yeah, I can hear her.
It's that
Yes,
connection
yes.
they made, forged in the fires of alcohol and tits.
Yes, we have like telepathy
She's drunk.
from
Okay.
Denver to New York.
She's
The
like,
bottom
am I
line
still
is-
alive?
All I learned from this whole episode is that Caroline should visit Denver so Pancake and Caroline can go to Babe's tea house and have the best fucking time ever.
Okay, back to my answer.
Okay.
I haven't watched anime as long as, Mason and Mitsuki, so I'm often able to find a little bit more enjoyment than some of the more, I really am kind of tipsy. Tired tropes and storylines that get very boring. But that kind of goes out the window when it's like Isekai number 642 with video game
43.
mechanics.
Yeah.
Because they cannot think of anything else interesting other than Isekai, video game mechanics, and the most uninteresting main character ever. It's only then where I'm just like, FML. Like, I can't. Luckily, we try to review shows that have some sort of interesting note, like some sort of X factor that makes it a little bit different from the other, except for Black Summoner. And not necessarily what is the most popular.
Black Summoner.
So, like, when we do watch trash, I am able to think, like, oh, next week will be better. Like, because we typically have something better the next week. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Black
get
Summoner
through
not
it
good.
and get to the next week.
Did you answer already, Mason?
I did. The
My
pain,
God.
The pain is over. The pain's only for a week. We can handle a week of pain. Sometimes.
It's time for the main event. It's time for the review of Bocchi, The Rock, which I don't even know why it's called that. It doesn't make much sense. But Mason, take it away, brother.
I said it in the show. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they
This
say
is
it
a
in the
fall
show.
2022 show. This is the other fall show I passed besides Chainsaw Man. So I picked out two heavy hitters. I passed this on episode 649. It is streaming on Crunchyroll, done by Studio Cloverworks, and it's based on a manga. And it tells the story of Hitori Goto, who is a shy, socially anxious, and withdrawn guitarist whose joining of a band forces her to face various situations that are far out of her comfort zone. Hijinks ensue. So there's really not much to the plot of it, but we will go through our spoiler-free expectations and recommendations, starting with Caroline. What were you expecting with Bocchi the Rock?
I was expecting a music show with Moe and a Komi-like main character. That's basically
Damn,
my
you fucking nailed it.
expectations going in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
Fucking nailed it.
it really isn't much. Like, it can be summarized by that, basically.
And you, Mitz?
I literally wrote Moe music slice of life on the doc. But listen, it's so much more than that. The amount of like hype and just like excessive pilings on of this anime is so fucking good. It's going to change your whole life. It's going to save anime. I don't know. You kind of have to have the expectation that you're walking into something really good, but I was just very skeptical going in because I don't know. Moe and like music shows just don't really tend to jive with me all that well. So I was a little skeptical, but the pedigree is strong. So we'll just say that.
As for myself, this was one of my most anticipated shows of 2022, based purely on my gut feeling towards Cloverworks and music shows. I tend to enjoy those. I was expecting a fusion of K-On!, Comic Girls, and Hitori Bocchi, but as Caroline said, had I known, yeah, I would have been expecting Komi as well. I watched the first 3 episodes when I passed it, kind of before the hype, and
You were ahead of the
honestly,
hype.
I feel like now that the hype rose and I had to wait week after week, I'm like, I don't want to watch it be too soon, but I'm getting all like I felt like I got more hype for Bocchi than I did for Chainsaw Man by the time I got around to it. You know, I had a better grasp of what I was getting, whereas this one was just like wildfire. Everyone was hyping it up, and I was like, let's hope it delivers. So, spoiler-free recommendation: Caroline, did Bocchi the Rock deliver?
Sorry, I'm chewing.
It's okay, Mitsugi, go.
Not really. It's just not for me. This is anime. It's like a hybrid of K-On! And Komi, I would say. And I think that it's very artistic. It had a couple like real life footage shots that were quite inspiring. So there was some interesting execution there. It was kind of funny once in a while. The music was okay, but I expected a lot more. I think that there was only like 15 total minutes of music performing in the whole anime, which is kind of a disappointment. I don't really think that making fun of mental illnesses are very funny. We already went through this with Komi. I don't think I'm gonna like go on and on and on about it again, but I got a fair dose of anxiety myself, and I don't really find it all that funny. So, watching poor Bocchi hide in a trash can and like watching her soul leave her body because she has to like talk to a human doesn't really jive with me all that well when they're making fun of it. So I don't really like that all that much. But also it just seems like the same moe formula that we had. It's this anime is a lot like K-On! I mean, it really is. Like most of it is a gaggle of girls talking about just nonsense or going on and on about like going on their little like foursome field trips or whatever they do, and it's probably better than K-On!, but not by much. And rather than being in a school, in like the club room, they substitute the club room for
a literal club room.
For like what is it, like like a music venue basement.
Yep. Yeah.
So and I also thought the final performance was kind of a letdown. I watched the God only knows Haruhi final performance, and it just kicks the shit out of Bocchi. Like, it wasn't close at all. Maybe you guys would disagree, and that's fine. I just didn't think it didn't really stack up. It might have been better than the K-On! final performance, which I didn't think was animated very well. But holy shit, that Haruhi Suzumiya God knows like fucking song and like Kyoto Animation just crushed it. So I don't know. This anime is just not for me. I recognize that it's probably a strong anime for people that it is geared towards, but for me, it just wasn't quite on the mark. So that's my very polite, drunk way of saying that, I recognize that it had something going for it, but it wasn't really for me.
Excellent. Caroline.
All right. Ready to
on us.
talk now. So, in short, yeah, I'd recommend Bocchi the Rock because, well, objectively, the production is very good and creative. Like, it's not just typical animation, but they add in a lot of interesting ways to utilize different mediums. They do the stop motion here and there, and then they really change up how it's animated as well. Now, I understand Mitsugi's opinion on the type of humor it has and how it can be seen as disrespectful of mental illness, because I was definitely thinking about that. I was watching it, how you think about it. But more often, I saw people just clamoring on how relatable it was. So it's this kind of humor that you are afraid of crossing the line a lot because it is touching on those topics that can be that is pretty divisive, but there is a point where some humor can be more of a relatable kind, where it's metaphorical, it's meant for the people that it is trying to portray and not necessarily trying to make fun of them. Now I can definitely see it, like it might cross a line for some people and you might be nervous about how it might, how other people might think about it, especially if they are someone who deals with severe social anxiety. But it's just shown in such a interesting light with how the metaphors are used that even I was thinking, yeah, I kind of felt like I wanted to die inside a little bit if I were to do something like this. Now, it got to the point where Bocchi trying to walk into a restaurant and being so, going insane about how to walk into a restaurant, that was a little much for me. I'm like, surely this is
Don't call me Shirley.
Stop. That was just a bit silly. And to be honest, Bocchi could be a little bit irritating from time to time in those instances where I'm like, this is just a little much. And also I feel like her social anxiety was not very consistent throughout the show. Like there were times where I was thinking, well, she should be able to do this because she did something much worse last episode, but that wasn't the case. And vice versa. And I'm just like, I feel like there wasn't a very clear line of progression because sometimes she would just go back to the way she was for something that should be comparatively easy to do. I think I would have liked some more music scenes because they were done really well. And the music itself is pretty good. But, I could see this show being more about cute girls doing cute things outside of the music scene and all that. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, I love to hear it. As for myself, I would tentatively, but overall, recommend Bocchi the Rock. It is, as Caroline mentioned, a fantastic and creatively exuberant adaptation. It is so striking in its flexing of animation techniques, smart directing, and music that it is worth giving a shot, full stop. That said, the show made efforts to be different than others, to avoid some of the similar story beats as K-On!, for example. And thus it focuses more on the comedy of Bocchi and crew rather than the characters driving. And not to say the comedy is bad. Comedy is just very subjective. We kind of got two different thoughts of it already, between it being kind of crossing the line, and some of it being, oh no, it's taking it in stride and taking a lighthearted approach on these conditions. And for the most part, I thought it was all right, and there were some undeniably fantastic moments and references that I thought were golden. I just didn't think it hit for 12 episodes straight. Like, I think honestly, this show would have been served better by a weekly watch rather than the binge format that we kind of need to do for the show. And the comedy kind of also came at a cost of having more archetypal characters that I didn't connect with in the same way as other shows. It's hard to not point to just saying, oh, it's not as good as Can for XYZ reasons, and that's why I didn't like the show. Because no, Bocchi is its own beast, and it is good. There's just elements of it I didn't enjoy in the same way. And it kind of had a very surface level takeaway of some of the social anxiety. It was more, like I said, for a laugh. And while there was genuine development in her arc, I didn't... We'll get into that later. This is a good show, and a lot of disappointment in my voice comes from the overwhelming amount of hype that it seemed to get and all the acclaim. Watch Bocchi the Rock. It is a good show. It's just still at its heart a moe music show, and it is what it is. So, not like there's a ton to spoil, but let's play the drop. So if you have not seen it yet, get on out of here. Or stick around. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
Go on and get it.
So, I think in a show like this, it is best to talk about the characters, who I thought were generally quite positive and decent people in how they would watch Bocchi do her thing and just be like, haha, that Bocchi, we sure do love her. I think the best character is Nijika's bow, just all the different ways that she fashioned it in ties, bow ties, and stuff in her hair. I thought that was the best part. I love that. What did you guys think of the characters in Bocchi?
Overall, I thought they were fine. A little bit archetypal, but again, it's kind of what you expect. A lot of funny comments from them from time to time, especially Rio, who is a very strange character. But as much as I kind of liked them, there were also times where they were strangely disrespectful of Bocchi's boundaries. Like, one moment in particular was when Bocchi is on stage and she can barely stand there without a box on her head. And they're like, Bocchi, say something! And they should freaking know that Bocchi's doing everything she can just to stand there and play her instrument and maybe look at the audience, and saying anything, especially unscripted, is totally just out of the question for her. So I don't know what they were thinking. That got me annoyed. I'm like, that is not something that you do to a friend.
Maybe it was just the spur, the adrenaline was going, but I get that. And a lot of the show I see as, they're going for comedy. A lot of what they're showing you with the exaggeratedness doesn't really happen. Like, a lot of ways, when you watch Roadrunner and Coyote pulls out a massive hammer out of nowhere, and you don't question reality. You're just like, that's the cartoon. Same way in the show where Ryo pulls out her bases out of nowhere to pay for a tram fare. It is overly shown. The scenes where Bocchi literally dies and turns into dust and explodes in a reference to Nausicaa. That obviously doesn't really happen. It's all just stylized ways of showing internal thoughts and just very expressive ways of showing that. So when Bocchi is in the throngs of a crazy meltdown, yes, she is having an attack, but I feel like it is, look how well we can animate this with style, and that's the joke more than, haha, she is socially having struggles, that's the joke. But it's hard to separate them. But overall, I think Bocchi's development is genuine and subdued. And I think it's realistic, because in the real world, when you overcome something like that, it doesn't play a triumphant soundtrack with cherry blossoms and sunbeams. It's like an ocean wave. You get a little progress, and then you recede a bit, and it's a bunch of that give and take. And I think the show does that well, but it makes it feel a little just plain at times. So I thought the characters were okay, is my long-winded way of saying they were fine.
I mean, I'm kind of drunk, but I'm trying my best here. And,
you lay it on us.
Listen, I didn't even know that Bocchi's name was Hitori. Honestly, these characters...
That's why they come up with their nickname, Hitori Bocchi.
I'm trying my best here because this anime is absolutely not for me, but these are just moe blobs. They have no names. They have... I don't know. What the fuck do they do? They just sit around and talk for 90% of the damn anime. I mean, this is I respect this anime for what it's trying to do, and I respect all the people that watch it and enjoy it, but it's just not for me. I'm a little too old to get absolutely anything from watching little girls talking about pretty much anything, and I really didn't know what any of these characters' names were. I seriously watched the whole anime, but Ryo, Nijika, Ikuyo, which is a strange as fuck name, by the way.
Which is why that's why she's
That's why they make
embarrassed
fun
by
of her.
it.
Because her last name's Kita, so it was like, Kita, Ikuyo.
Yeah, which means north, but I don't know why. I don't know what Ikuyo. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I guess. But I don't know. The characters are fine. They're just moe blobs, though. They just sit around and talk and act cute, and they're just... I don't know. I mean, was there backstory for them? Was there any kind of deep connection
of it? I think it's more difference in how their comedy is delivered. The problem is the show is about Bocchi's interactions, and it's about a lot of the music focus, but it's not about these characters growing and developing and changing, which is fine. It's a cast of comedy, and they each deliver that comedy in a different way.
Did they grow?
Well, Bocchi did slightly, but the others are very stagnant archetypal things. They're just kind of pinnacles where Ryo is funny because she doesn't pay her debt and she is obsessed about this, and Nijika is each of their personalities is how they deliver comedy, but that's all there is to them. It's not a well-developed 3D character, is what I'm saying.
So I don't know. I didn't think the characters were all that interesting, and I don't know why it always has to be 4 girls. It seems like it's always 4. Soro no Oto had 4, I think. K-On! Had 4 of them.
They got that 5th one in there.
Who is the 5th one?
Azunan.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Season 2, baby.
Season 2 of K-On! Was terrible.
Oh my goodness, you take that back.
Didn't they like run like a cross country dirt race or some shit? They're fucking supposed to be
Oh
playing
my
music.
goodness.
Why are they running races?
Really enjoy K-On!
Oh man, listen.
This is just going to be the Bocchi's Not K-On! Review, and I don't like that is the thing, but it's
No,
kind of
not at all. Listen. These they're unbelievably similar. Anyway, to answer your question, the characters are fine. Bocchi's obviously by far the best. I thought that the others were just kind of like stuck in there to make like the band, basically. I don't know. They didn't do much for me.
I thought that the plot was interesting because episode 8 was like their first performance at Starry, where the first song was kind of just okay, but then they locked it in and nailed the second song when Bocchi like started that like strumming intro that kind of got everyone out of their groove. That end credits was, black with the titles scrolling up. Like that felt like the ending. And that's actually where volume 1 of the manga ended. So the fact that they got 8 episodes out of one volume is impressive, and I thought that was great. And then they were like, oh shoot, we still got 4 more episodes to go. I thought the back little chapter had its moments, but didn't have the same impact or same steam that the first 8 did. That said, it did have that scene of Ro just like scarfing down Ami Rice after like Kita put that like love spell on it, which was worth the price of admission for the entire show for me. So I thought the first 8 episodes were a stronger showing.
In particular, the episode where I think it might have been before the episode of going on for their first, four-person concert, the street musician scene, great. I was just like, yay! Bocchi's finally coming out of her shell, and they did this really great number together, and the drunkard lady wasn't drunk for like 5 seconds.
I know.
And Bocchi got fans, and she sold her tickets, and I'm like, good job! Good job! The DIY reference. And that just made me feel so good. I'm like, that was like my favorite part of the anime.
Yeah, that was episode 6.
Yeah.
And that was nice. Like there was all these small moments that were great, and then you're like, oh, that's her big defining moment. She's all better now, but that's not how it works, and I like that. And it was a gradual unraveling of her being comfortable with things, and how she didn't even look at people at first, and then she was able to look a little bit, or like she couldn't even close her eyes, and she was like keeping one of them open. Like all those were nice touches, a little silly, but good and earned, and made you feel for her. But I think after that, and especially with some of the way that her family treated her in the back half, was kind of like, I think we're making fun of Bocchi a little more than
like when her friends come over and they like just talking about her to her friends, and that's not right.
But for the most part, most people are like, we like these band members actively like being around Bocchi. They are a good influence, and they are nice people, and that's what you want to see.
I love it when they just say, but Bocchi's so cool, and she's so
she's so much fun to hang around with. What did we think of the music, the actual what they were playing in the show?
I mean, they didn't fucking play any goddamn music in this fucking anime. I mean, I feel like they played one song in like episode 5 or so, and that was fine. And Pancake came out of the bathroom and went, that was pretty good. And I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. And then, I don't know, there wasn't a whole lot until the end. And they played like 2 songs at the end. And then I couldn't help but compare it to God Only Knows because it's the same goddamn setting.
You can't compare it to that. It's so good. God Only Knows is like next level.
It's the ultimate, but like...
It's literally God tier.
But it's so apples to apples. You have 4 characters. They're on stage. They're in the exact same setting, the exact same. People may not know this, but all Japanese high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, they're identical. They're all built the exact same construction across the whole country. It's the same exact setting, same stage, same crowd, same fucking foursome of people. Yeah, it just wasn't as good. I don't know. The music, I can't remember any of the music. I'm sure it was good. I liked it when I heard it, but they didn't play a lot of music. Did I miss it? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, like they didn't play there weren't a ton of music scenes. which I would have liked, but the variety of songs that they played were pretty good.
Yeah, they just didn't hold the songs for very long. They were kind of very in and out. But I did think that they sounded good. And I like that how when they're playing poorly, the show had like believable flaws. And they didn't just copy paste it and say, oh, this performance was bad. This one was good. Like they actually did perform it with slight stiffness or out of tune or just stuff to make you feel just internally. Maybe just because I'm a musician, I have a bit more of an ear. But I think most people would still pick up on, oh, that
Didn't
like
sound
it's
right.
okay. Like it's fine, but it's not as great as it is later. And they do so many little things from very similar camera angles between a good performance and bad performance, so you can see what movement looks like versus when they're all stiff and nervous. Like they were well done, and I think the crux of well done with this show, I think most people will turn to the art and animation, which I thought was really spectacular most of the time with all the diversity of styles and how they applied it to all these comedic moments. I thought that was, we talked about Chainsaw Man looking really good, but maybe not quite as good in its impact as the manga, where in this case they took a manga and elevated it for the anime with so many different stuff to just flex on. It was so cool. I liked it.
So
Yeah.
at the end of the end of the show during the performance, Bocchi, I guess her name, I don't know what the fuck to call her. Is she Bocchi? I guess
It's a
Bocchi.
nickname, yeah.
Yeah, they
Call
call
her
her
Bocchi.
Bocchi. Yeah. Bocchi has a broken string or broken peg or whatever, and huge fucking rookie mistake. Like, how you gonna go out there with your shit broken? So that's a big mistake, but
It wasn't broken when she went out. It
well,
broke
sure,
in the
but
middle of
like,
the performance.
fucking A, get a spare guitar. I don't fucking know, but like, I thought she was.
Have one. You just don't have a spare $1,000 guitar just on the sideline.
Well, listen, I might be drunk, and I respect you, Caroline, but if you're in front of an audience of 90,000 on stage, like we're like Red Hot Chili Peppers, and you got a broken fucking string, you better have a fucking spare guitar. Anyway, besides
Their
the
backup
point.
plan is get naked to distract, and they can't all
Besides-
be flea out here.
They are a teenage band that had
wait a
two
second, wait a second, wait a
performances.
second.
They are not the
Wait.
Red Hot
Wait,
Chili
shh,
Peppers.
besides the point, okay? The point is, I thought Bocchi might have pulled some fucking Paganini shit out there. Like, I don't know if people don't know who Paganini is.
No.
But, Paganini is this famous violinist that was so good back in the day, like 100 years ago, that was so good that people thought he sold his soul to Satan because he was so good. He used to saw his violin strings halfway through, so they'd break halfway through his solo performances, and he would literally finish pieces in a different key to avoid having to use that string. It was some fucking epic shit. I thought that Bocchi was going to, like, go up there and pull some fucking Paganini and, like, do her solo without the goddamn key that she needed. But big props to Ikuyo for recognizing that it was broken and actually like carrying the goddamn solo so that to give them time to like find a solution. That was some pretty badass like on the spot improv. I appreciated that. That was some good shit.
Yeah, the band is coming together. I honestly, Kita is normally the type of character that I think is too moe, too generic, too popular in a lot of ways. I like the Genki characters. Maybe I'm just biased because I'm a drummer, but I usually like the drummer girls in these shows. But Kita really won me over. She really just had that. Let's go out and let's go walk. Let's go explore. Let's go experience life.
Kita.
And she was really cool, and I thought she was rad. I mean, obviously I love Rio, and like I like all of them individually. I just wish there was more to them. Is my complaint, I guess. But what do you think of the animation, Caroline?
That was great. I mean, the music scenes in particular were great. And then, of course, there were the visual metaphors in which they kind of delve into some other types of animation. And then the reaction faces, of course, were great, which we have many of those on our Discord now. What else? I mean, yeah, those were pretty, like, overall, it was pretty great to watch.
Any particular references that you guys enjoyed? It felt a bit like Lucky Star, where they were just thrown in all over the place, but it wasn't leaning too heavily on that for the comedy. It wasn't like, oh, it made a Dragon Ball reference. That was what made it funny. It was that it included it so seamlessly without being too much of a wink and nod that I thought was tasteful. Like I mentioned the Noshka one earlier.
Yeah, speaking of the Dragon Ball one, like when she is, I don't know, pummeled into the ground and she's just lying there. That was like a Dragon Ball reference, right?
Yep.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it,
Yamcha.
but I've heard people talking about it. But visually, it is very poignant, and it explains just how a person might feel just being pummeled into the ground. So there's that. And then there were also like the J-Rock references, which were pretty awesome because even someone like me, I know a few Japanese bands, and yet I heard all their names somewhere in this anime. Like there was the Radwimps that kind of changed one of their letters, and then like two of the girls in her classroom were talking about them. Like, I know those guys. And then there was a Kana Boon poster in the background. There might have been like a One OK Rock reference somewhere. I wasn't entirely certain. And of course, the Asian Kung Fu Generation references in their names and in the some of the episode titles, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, most of the episode titles were referenced, right? Not all,
I don't know about most. I would say maybe half.
Okay.
At the very most. Because
I am
there were
not
some
as
that were
well versed as
They
you
have
are.
so many songs, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Let's see. I really think this is a show that you instantly get a feel of. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it kind of whatever? And not much happens besides the comedy and just small connections that she makes. I like how she's like this undercover, super popular guitarist, and Nijuko's like, yeah, I knew the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
of course I knew. Like, it's obvious. You wear the same clothes. You have the same guitar. like I like stuff like that. But besides that, it was just a show that you went and it either spoke to you and you flowed with it, or you just kind of bounced off it. And I'm sure if, like I said before, if I was watching this weekly, I'd be like, oh, it's the day for Bocchi. I know I'm just going to get a ray of sunshine and laughs, and it's going to be really positive, instead of I need to watch 5 episodes of Bocchi and it all kind of chops together. And I feel like I did the show a disservice in some ways of doing that, but that's how I did it. So I'm good to score the show. If you guys have any thoughts left.
I think I've said it all, really. I can't remember anything else.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
They're one is kind of controversial and one is not. Which one would you like first?
Controversial
Non-controversial.
first.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, whatever. You pick, Mitsugi.
How do people keep getting away with like making fun of people's mental illnesses? I don't understand. Like, no one seems to give a fuck. Like, we care about all this other social shit. Like, everybody's like, oh my god, every social thing on earth, we have to protect everybody. But then when it comes to like people that have like crippling social anxiety, we're just like very ready to just make it into a fucking joke. I don't understand like how this keeps flying. Like, why we pick and choose things that we care about and don't care about.
I understand your point. It's just that, in my opinion, I think a lot of anime fans have somewhat of a degree of social anxiety, and it can be taken either way. Not everybody's like opinion is in solidarity, but I think there are a lot of people, especially like I love reading the comments on every episode of anime that I watch, and more often than not, it's just people saying, "Yeah, I really felt like that when I was in high school," and that kind of thing. So I think there comes a line where it's relatable and then offensive, and then I think people are mostly on the relatable side.
Okay. And why does this... See, to me, this anime is like... I'm kind of giving away my score here, but I don't really think this anime is particularly all that much better than K-On! I don't think it's that much better. How and why the fuck is this have a 9 out of 10 on Mal? Why is this the 12th best anime ever? It does not compute for me. I'm not picking it up at all. What do you
I don't
guys think?
necessarily think it's meant to be a 9. I think it's certainly kind of up there. I don't know if it's meant to be a 9 though. And that's just my opinion.
Is this anime better than Beck?
I don't know. I've
Mason? I mean, because like Beck was for a while now has been like the end all be all holy shit like indie rock band anime. So I think this is at least a full point better than Beck Online, and I just don't understand why. Like, I'm missing it. There's something about this anime that people are just like orgasming over, and I'm not picking it up, and I don't understand it.
I think this anime is better than Beck.
Wow. Okay.
I think Beck shoots for the stars with trying to have a more mature story of coming of age of Tanaka, and him finding his place in this adult world. I think that Fish Out of Water is a little more than the chops that the get it chops has the show has able to handle. I think it's a little out of its depth, and it has more flaws, whereas this show is safer and really excels in the visual and presentation, and people more watch the show and say, oh, she's just like me, I have this connection, which is good and fine. But I think it doesn't go on, at least with the one season we've seen so far, to do much with that, which is why I don't think the show is as good as K-On!, which takes these characters who are the moe blobs and turns them into these well-developed character stories that you get invested in, and what makes that show rise above. Not that every show is a comparison to one another, it's just, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I like K-On!
All right, I don't have anything else to say. I don't need to beat any of these dead horses, so I'm not going to. So, who wants to go?
We know that Pancake love the horses.
Yeah, Pancake does love horses. I'm going to try to give her some horses someday. Who wants to go first?
Let's make Caroline go first.
Go ahead, Caroline.
Okay, let's make me go first. So overall, I really enjoyed it. Again, don't think it's a 9 in my case, but it's certainly just an enjoyable show to watch. It has a lot of good production values going into it. I could see people really cared about making it, and making it as good for music fans and fans of social anxiety, I guess. And just overall, it has just good vibes, you know?
Good vibrations.
Yeah. So for this show, I think I'll give it 4 Bocchis turning into a virus that incapacitates her bandmates in depression out of 5.
Mason?
It happened once, Mitzi. I know you're questioning my reference,
No,
but it
I'm
happened.
just like, okay. Sorry, I'm like, 6 shots of Bacardi
He's ready
in.
for a nap.
He's crawling across the finish line
Fuck
here.
no,
That's
man.
okay.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Martini.
Man, I gotta go pick up my groceries. I gotta cook chicken. Man, I can't afford to not default take a nap. Mason?
I think the most important thing I can say to sum this up, and the show knew this was a problem with it, because they said in the show that any anime where the characters jump in the OP is a good show. And they did not jump in the OP, so I'm going to have to dock points and give it a 3.5 coma out of 5. I think
What,
it was
really?
pretty solid, but the hype maybe got
Just
to me
because
watching
they
it.
didn't jump.
They didn't jump. If
Just
they jumped,
because-
it would have been a good show. They said it themselves. I didn't make the rules. They made the rules.
It did make the rules. Yeah, you're right.
3.5 out of 5. Mitch?
For me, this anime was not for me. Honestly, if I had to score my personal enjoyment of this anime, I'd give it like a 1.5. I was bored. I thought it frankly kind of sucked. I rate a lot of things based on how much entertainment I receive from them. How much did I like them? It's not about what other people think. It's about what I think. This anime is not for me, really. Now, the anime does do some interesting things. It does have some worthwhile things in it that make it good. And I can factor those in my overall score. However, I really wanted this to be an anime where, once upon a time, Mitsugi was also a very strong introvert. I took the Myers-Briggs, believe it or not, several times. The real Myers-Briggs, not the horseshit one you do on fucking Facebook. That's 20 questions, like the 450 goddamn question Myers-Briggs. And, once upon a time, that said, Mitsugi, you're an introvert. And I said, fuck. And then I said, you know what? Being an introvert kind of sucks because then you can't be, social all that easily. So, I did a lot of painful things to overcome that. And I was thinking, you know what? Maybe Bocchi is going to, use guitar to become more of an extrovert. Maybe that'll help move her towards the E instead of the I on the Myers-Briggs. But I never saw that from this anime. She's still kind of a quivering mass of goo at the end of the anime. And I didn't really like that all that much. And didn't really give me what I wanted. And I definitely wanted more than 15 minutes of music or whatever it was. And beyond that, it's just a lot of little girls talking. And I'm too damn old I'm too jaded and old to really get a lot of enjoyment out of just seeing little girls talk about shit. So, very disappointing. It's kind of what I expected. But, you know, I recognize that the anime does some interesting things with the cinematography. They have some interesting views. Cloverworks is clearly just a great studio. Like, there's no doubt about it. You know, they've proven it several times now. They're just fucking good. They're one of the best studios. And so even though I didn't really enjoy Bocchi very much, like, I kind of couldn't wait for it to end, I'm going to give it 2.5. Who the fuck cares? Out of broken guitar pegs.
Hey, we take that.
It's not a terrible show. You know, people love the show. I don't know why it's a 9. I don't get it. I'm not sure it's as good as K-On! I don't think it's as good as Beck, but you know, it does do some interesting things, and someday I'll understand why everybody thinks this is a 9. But for me, it's got to be that people just haven't. Maybe the turnover rate of anime fans is so rapid that the people that are watching Bocchi have never seen Beck. They've never seen K-On! They've never seen, you know, these shows are old now. K-On's like, what, 20 years old? It's fucking old. So, I don't know.
It's like 13 years. It's got to be like a decade or so.
Let me look it up real quick. You know,
and another thing I've kind of forgotten about.
13 years, yeah.
Okay, so for the most part, this wasn't like a really cringe show for me. Like, yeah, it was a little awkward at times, but I'm like, nothing too bad. But the worst part was Bocchi trying to crowd surf. That was, I hid behind my hands. I'm like, oh my God, why did you do that?
It was a big moment of letdown for me, because when she was going to crowd surf, I thought, oh my God, she's going to crowd surf, and then they're going to catch her, and it's going to be fucking awesome.
Why did you think they were going to catch her?
Because I thought that was her moment of like becoming an extrovert, and it was going to like bathe her in the fire of like social acceptance or something, and then like her band would play and she'd get back up on stage and keep playing, and it would be awesome.
If it was in the middle of a song, I could see that reasoning, but it was like so sudden that she just decided to jump off, and nobody would have considered like, oh, she's doing crowd now. That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wanted them to catch her, though, and it would be like her moment of where they accept her. Like, it's almost symbolic. Like, oh, I'm going to receive you with my hands and accept you.
The pain arc of Naruto, if you will.
But it never happened, and I was kind of, like, bummed out by that. And, yeah. But, you know, it's not the worst anime I've seen, but, you know, it's also, it just wasn't for me.
Somehow Black Summoner just inched ahead over Bocchi.
What did I give Black Summoner?
Miles ahead.
3.5. I don't know how that happened, but you gave it a 3.5, I think.
Probably because Bocchi
was the same score as Bastard, so it's on brand.
I mean, probably because...
Bastard was better than Black Summoner. I'll say that.
I'm fucking old. When I turn 60, am I supposed to enjoy watching 14-year-old girls talk about fucking cake?
Yeah.
They did not talk once
it ain't gonna happen. Cake. It's not going to happen.
Not once.
I'm not saying you don't have to, but I'm saying it's possible.
I mean, it's possible, but like I'm a 65-year-old man with like my nose hairs exploding out. I got like Dumbo-sized ears, and I'm supposed to like relate to little girls talking about cake and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good life.
At some point in my life, I'm just gonna want to watch. I'm just gonna want to watch football and eat tacos.
I mean, isn't that now? I mean, I want to watch football and eat tacos.
I ain't gonna lie.
Thanks for watching this show, Mitz. Yeah. I appreciate it. I had a blast talking about it.
This was your Harem Isekai.
I'm here for you. I didn't give it a 1. You know, fuck. That's not so bad. Anyway, guys, Bocchi the Rock. You know, I hope someday Bocchi finds true peace in herself. And I'm telling you right now, 16, 17, however old she actually is, it's too young to overcome being an introvert. It takes time. You keep playing guitar, you keep crowd surfing, and someday they'll catch you and you'll find yourself feeling a little better about yourself inside.
After you've broken your nose 5 times over.
And you need a fucking therapist. Holy shit, Japan, it needs to just like, you know, be a little more reasonable with poor people that have mental illness, because goddamn, it could go a lot further. Bocchi really needs some like Zoloft or something. It could really help her. But, you know, her parents are probably like, oh, you'll bring our family shame, so we can't, like, get you help. No. Bocchi needs, you know, maybe she needs it, maybe she doesn't, but someday, I believe in you. You'll find peace, inner peace for yourself. Oh, my God, I'm drunk. Thanks for listening, guys. Wow. What a great episode. Thank you to Caroline for looking at I don't even know what kind of an animal girl Roxanne is. What is she, a dog?
Was it a fox?
It's a dog.
I really don't know. I think a dog.
I think she's a dog.
Caroline, thank you for looking at dog girl titties. It was very brave
Thanks.
of you.
Yeah, that was
Thanks.
really an experience I needed.
Thank you for the pancake for sitting downstairs and always being willing to shout half intelligible shit into the microphone from 50 feet away. Thank you to Mason for being such an absolute stud. And and thanks
For dealing with our drunkenness.
And thank you to me.
No, you guys were fine.
Thank you to me for sitting through the last 30 minutes of this episode, even though I have to pee worse than any human has ever had to pee before. And thank you to you listeners for visiting our websites. She's very drunk, but Pancake says you're very sexy. Oh my God.
Listeners, we love you. See you next week for Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2.
Oh, God.
You know what? There's a whole bunch of shit to say, like all these websites and stuff, but I'm too drunk. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. We love you. Visit our Discord.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah, please do.